Hi, I'm Bruce Schneider and welcome to This Week in the Studio. There could be a number of reasons that you want to do drum replacement. You might have a badly recorded kick drum track that doesn't sound great. You may not have the time to actually perfect that proper sound, that ace sound that you want to get. So then you resort to drum replacement. Here is the Cubase track opened with the kick drum enlarged, so we can actually see the audio track there. And what we want to do is we want to convert this into a MIDI track, so we can then allocate those MIDI notes across to a third-party program that will play samples that have already been pre-produced for us and ready to go. So I'm using Reason for this in this instance. So if we look at that track on its own, this is what we see. So we can see the large spikes there indicate all of the kick drums that have actually occurred, and we have a lot of background noise low down, which is other parts of the drum kit and other drum instruments like the snare drum in particular that we can hear in the background. So if I was to play that, so you can hear the kick drum there, but you can also hear other elements. So what we want to do is we want to isolate the kick drum components. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up on the side panel here, and we're going to look at creating MIDI notes from this track. But we need to set a threshold first so that we can eliminate any rubbish in the background, otherwise we're going to have multiple thresholds. So we adjust our threshold setting here, and we bring that down so it will only include kick drum events and not other events. So I've actually brought those two lines down in the center there so that we're only including kick drum events. We then click on Create MIDI Notes. So I'm actually going to select a pitch of C1, which is the GM assignment pitch wise for a kick drum, and we're going to leave them at length 1/8, and we'll go OK. Backing out of the program now, we will find that somewhere down here there will be a MIDI track. So let's drag that back up next to our kick drum track, just below it, in there. So if we look at that track now, we will notice we have a whole lot of kick drum events in there. However, notice down the bottom that the velocities are fairly small. We can ramp this up. I'm going to select all events, and we're going to move these velocities up to a higher point. Notice that each of the velocities there represent how hard the kick drum was hit in the first place. So we have an accurate representation both in volume and in positioning of where the actual player put all of those elements. We'll now assign that track to Reason. So let's go over there and let's actually pick our device in Reason. We've got that track soloed. Let's listen to that track. So you can actually hear the difference between the two tracks. So this is a way of very quickly replacing a component of your recording with a pre-processed, ready-to-go track sound that you like.